Hey folks, it's God's Comic Brad Stine. Today, we're going to talk about a sensitive subject. Colored people. Or people of color. Or people that happen to have a color. Or color that's attached to people in a way that's colorful. Or anyone, for that matter, that when observing themselves, notice that they have a particular chromatism. In other words, today we're going to talk about all of us. Hey guys, have you ever heard this phrase uttered in the context of a history class? Today, class, we need to talk about the accomplishments of people of color. Let me explain something to you, my fellow Americans. In the entire history of the human race, a color has never accomplished anything. Ever. Human beings have accomplished incredible things. The use of ideas by human beings, that's accomplished a lot of things. Human behavior, that's accomplished things. And people of courage and virtue, utilizing philosophies and hopes and dreams, they've accomplished things, but not a skin color. Because skin, it can't accomplish anything since it doesn't have a brain. See, skin just keeps our organs from sloshing around while we try to change the world. Skin is just along for the ride. Some people refer to themselves as people of color. What does that mean exactly? I mean, look, I have a color too. Why exclude me? Why the segregation? What am I, translucent? Thanks be to God, who invented colors that he chose to display in all of us with different colors and different shades, just like flowers and trees and bruises. Otherwise, instead of creation being like a box of crayons, we'd be more like a roll of cellophane. Useful, perhaps, but rarely used for wrapping gifts. If you wrapped a present in cellophane, there'd be no surprise, and let's face it, what makes humans interesting is we're chock full of surprises. Reason I take issue with the idea of isolating yourself into a category of color is it indirectly discriminates or segregates humans by a trait they had nothing to do with. See, we hear talk, we need a colorblind society, which I agree with, and then progressives take great pains to remind us how different we are and how our color is an obstacle. Of course, progressives use color as a dog whistle for races, and therein lies a bigger problem. Did you know there actually is only one race? Yeah, it's called the human race, and that's it. That's the way God made it. Leave it to humanity to muck up the simplest of concepts in order to make it even easier to find a way to hate each other. You see, as I've said before, when it comes to most cultural issues, conservatives, progressives want the same thing. We just go about the solution in diametrically opposed ways. Conservatives seek solutions that will work and stand the test of time, which is what conservatism means, to conserve the wisdom of the ages and ideas that have proven successful. Progressives usually seek solutions that they come up with kind of off the cuff, simply because it fits easily on a bumper sticker or a protest placard. Progressivism should always be suspect because it presumes its perspective is making progress that can only be evaluated by them and their utopian vision of the world. You see, progressives tend to live in the world they pretend to be true. Conservatives, unfortunately, live in the world as it is. Progressives always need a victim that's being exploited, or they'd have nothing to fight for, while the rest of us want to move on from categorizing people as a color and just evaluate them by their character, whereas the progressive literally needs to keep people in a perpetual downtrodden state in order to prove their point that some people are downtrodden. Folks, there is one concept you need to always seek whenever anyone begins to try and isolate a particular group. Who's in charge? And who's trying to gain power? Not equality, mind you. I believe all people deserve the chance to have equal opportunity, but every political concept is somebody, no matter what color they are, seeking power. Of course, power in the hands of a noble king can be wielded fairly and virtuously, but let's face it, usually the person in power has one goal in mind: how to keep you from having what he's got. So I say to all my fellow people of color, since we all have one, how about we start seeking what we have in common, seeing each other as equals, quit separating our potential unity by creating false categories of what it means to be human? That's due on PC for you to take. I'm sure you'll throw some colorful language my way to show your outrage. Too late, I'm afraid. The jig's up. We're on to you in your desire to control language and to make the rest of us bow to your tyranny. It's over. Catching the shade I'm tossing? Remember, PC free is finally liberty. And if you just still want to hold people down into their race categories, put a helmet on. Your time is done. Hey guys, I know what you're saying. My life wasn't worth anything until you came back into my life, Brad Stine. I remember my parents and grandparents used to watch you, sit at your feet with a little candle they'd write. See by the light, there he is, Brad, doing his little thing in his traveling circus, the back of a covered wagon with oxen. Well, I'm back with a vengeance, because I realize all you new guys suck. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. You suck. Anyways, like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you'll get updates. Watch some of these videos. And if you really subscribe a lot, I got some special stuff coming. Can't tell you about it now, because I haven't figured it out yet.